Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we are having a date with our money. So, a few weeks ago, I was doing this 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat. And one thing that I realized is that I was limiting myself when it comes to my money. And I decided in this 2024, this year is going to be a game changer for me. And I want to really step into greater financial abundance for myself and for everybody else. I know many people focus, and I did that too. Many people focus on clearing out all the junk, all the negativity, all the blockages, all the limitations that we have around money. But what we forget to do, and I forgot to do it or didn't take the time to do, is to expand into greater money. Because greater money means you need to be energetically more expanded to sustain that money. You need to be energetically expanded to sustain more clients, sustain more money, sustain more financial abundance, and sustain more prosperity, sustain more material things. And many people think, just somehow it will happen, but no, you need to grow into it energetically. And so I thought I'll do this event for you to help us all get started in this year on a very, very different note. And in this session, I want to guide you to have a conversation with your money, have a date with your money, talk to your money, converse with your money. Think about the amount you want to have on your bank account, on your spreadsheet that you made on the 31st December 2024. What is the money that you're envisioning for yourself? Be brave, double that amount if you must. Don't just settle, okay, like this amount feels like comfortable. No, I want you to step out of your comfort zone and envision double, triple of what you made last year. Really go big, visualize it, have it just the way you want it. Don't shrink yourself to the level of abundance that you're comfortable with, because we all acclimatize to the money that we have. There is a thermostat where we feel comfortable. Okay, this amount of money I'm comfortable making, but I don't know how to live my life if I double, tripled my money. So I want to guide you into that energy, help you be comfortable being in that energy, and have a conversation with your money to see what steps did I make, what actions did I take, what beliefs did I shift that now allow me to vibrate with that money so that this money can come to me easily. Again, you are the source of your money. It's not your clients. The money is not with your employer. The money is not with your clients. The money is not out there. Yes, we believed that for a long time, and that's where we disempowered ourselves. We gave somebody else power over our money. And now we are like standing there with a outstretched, begging hand all our life, trying to convince someone out there, some entity, some being, some God, some boss, to give us that money, and we hustled for it. No, you have to understand, money is, you are the source of your money. Money is a state of mind, and you are a karmic billionaire. But the reason why that money is not manifested in our lives is because we are resisting, rejecting, denying. We've built walls, protective walls against it. We don't know that we are the source of our money. And that's something that's limiting. That's the biggest blockage on our money journey. I've been looking at my money for the last 6 years, every single day of my life. There are many, many things that I realized that helped me shift my financial situation. And this is one of them. Okay, so let's get started. As always, I prepared a few slides. You can lean back, relax, close your eyes, lie down if you need to. Try not to fall asleep if you can. But lean back. Put your awareness at the center of your heart. There's nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. Close your eyes. Find yourself completely present in the here and now. Now put your awareness 300 feet above your head. Tap into the love and light energy. Be with that energy. Allow that energy to come down on your head, on your crown. Cleansing your crown, removing all the false beliefs that you have about money, all the blockages, all the resistances to your money. This energy is going into your forehead chakra. It's cleansing all the blockages to envisioning that greater life, to envisioning that money that you want to have on your bank account on the 31st of December, everywhere you're not able to even feel into it, envision that amount of money. Clearing all of that out. Going into your Ajna chakra, everywhere you're not able to see how you can get there, everywhere you're not able to visualize, plan, break down the process. Find a way to get to that money. Everywhere you're not able to see the breadcrumbs that will guide you to that money throughout the year, clearing all of that out. This energy is going into your throat chakra. Everywhere you're not able to speak truth to your money, that feels good. Everywhere you're not able to speak truth to your money, clearing all of that out. This energy is going into your heart chakra, it's going down through your body, all the way down to the core of Mother Earth. There's another warm, love and light energy that's beginning to come up through the crust of Mother Earth, through your feet, through your body, all the way into your heart. Feel that energy, be with that energy.
Video live right now. The link is in my fucking bio.
Feel into that energy now. This energy is beginning to rise. So these two energetic streams are converging in your heart. They're beginning to expand. They're becoming as big as your house, as big as your town, as big as this planet Earth. Your energetic field is expansive. It's expanding more and more. Imagine you're inside of the sun and there's a bench. And you're sitting down on the bench and there is the money sitting next to you. Your money. That's your date with your money. Feel into your money. Is it small? Is it big? Is it expansive? Is it constricted? Is it dark? Is it negative? If your money had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? If unlimited abundance had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? So as I say, if it had a voice, if it had a story, there's an energetic transfer, there's a transfer of information that is happening between you and your money. On a subconscious level, you're receiving that information. Sometimes you might receive the information in terms of clear sentences, clear insights, but also a lot of shifts are happening just through this information transfer. And on a subconscious level, you know the right answer, you know. And this energy is going to blossom within you throughout the year, guiding you. All this understanding in your waking life is going to keep on coming to you, keep on guiding you, keep on facilitating your process. If all the ways you acquired money in the past, holy ways, unholy ways, if that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If the shame, the way you acquired money in the past, had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If money forgiveness had a voice, had a story, had an insight, had a teaching for you, what would it tell you? If your relationship with money had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If you were money vibration, if it had a voice, had a story, if it could guide you how to vibrate even greater with your money, if that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If vibrating in alignment with unlimited abundance and prosperity had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If you, the future gazillionaire, had a voice, had a story, what would you tell yourself? If your next 1 million had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? How did you get there? What advice would it give you? What roadmaps would it share with you? If your next big money win had a voice, had a story, if you could converse with it, how did I get you? What were the shortcuts? What are the shortcuts I can take to get to that big, big, big money win? Next big money win. Imagine the next $1,000, euros, whatever the currency, dropping into your bank account. See it on your bank account. If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? We could have so much fun spending it. That's what I heard. We could have so much fun spending it. Yeah, you could have, if you could have fun with your money, spending it, if that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If fun with money, ease with money, had a voice and had a story, what would it tell you? If your next pay rise had a voice, had a story, had advice for you, what would it tell you? If $100 bills, €100 bills, whatever currency you use, in your wallet had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? If your wallet had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? If your bank account had a voice, had a story, had advice for you, could guide you to greater ability to manifest money on your bank account, if that energy had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? What would it want you to know? What roadmaps, what shortcuts could you be made aware of? And you could allow to be transferred into your consciousness. That transfer had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? So as I say these things, for many of you, it feels like a burden. Greater money feels like a burden. The more I say this, the heavier the energy is on the shoulders. So everywhere you believe greater money is a burden, if that had a story, if that had a voice, what would it tell you? If all that heaviness had a voice, had a story, all those lifetimes when you were burdened by money, if all that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? What would it tell you? So again, imagine you're in the void. Imagine you are in this dark, dark space and there is nothing. And may some of you with karma abuse to bring up all that burden energy and scream it out on top of your lungs, shout it out. Shout that negativity, negativity, negativity out of every part, every cell of your body, out of your energy field. Imagine you're screaming, screaming, screaming all the bad things that happen to you because of money. Everywhere now you're resisting great abundance because of that. Shout it out. May some of you with karma abuse just scream, 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 scream. Release that energy. all that burden, all that heavy energy, all those fears. And some of you with karma abuse to scream out all the fears to have greater abundance, all those fears out of your body. Scream and release, scream and release, scream and release. Scream and release. Oh, that feels so much better. I don't know if you guys feel it, but there was no point talking to that energy anymore. Just scream it out. Everywhere you're afraid of being rejected by the money. Everywhere you feel rejected when you date someone or something. If that had a voice, what would it tell you? Everywhere you feel rejected by your money. If that had a voice, what would it tell you? Everywhere you feel like, oh no, I couldn't possibly date that big amount that is going to be on my bank account on 31st December 2024. It would reject me anyways. That would never want to be with me, want to hang out with me, want to manifest into my life. I better reject that number. I better settle for less. I better reject that so that I don't get disappointed. If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Where are you rejecting that amount? Where are you not willing to date that amount? Clear and transparent across all time, dimension, space, and reality. If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Why did you reject money in the past? If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Why do you expect that energy of expecting to be rejected by your money again? If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If being energetically aligned with that big next number, 31st December, if that had a voice, what would it tell you? If you could conceive and conceptualize fully that amount in your mind, what would it tell you? For many of us, we can conceptualize $1,000, we can conceptualize $10,000, we can conceptualize $15,000, but we cannot conceptualize $100,000, $500,000, 1 million. It feels like such a pie in the sky. We can't conceptualize. So if you could conceptualize that big amount you want to make in this year, if that had a voice, had a story, had advice, had something to teach you, what would it teach you? If you could allow yourself, so if that next financial advisor, that next person that could give you valuable advice on how to multiply your money, if that person was already in your life, what would he or she tell you? What would he or she teach you? If you had a financial personal advisor and you loved working with the person, what would you tell yourself? How did you find that person? How were you guided to that person? It might be someone on YouTube, it might be someone, a friend, it might be a book, it might be a coach. If that next person was already in your life, guiding you all the way, what would he or she teach you? What insights would you receive? What shortcuts could you perceive to find that person? How could you already invite that person into your life? Or that information through books, videos, trainings. what would he or she tell you? If you had all the knowledge you need to achieve that target and more, what would that knowledge be? What would that insight be? What would that experience be? What would that know-how be? If you had all the intuition you need, all the awareness about your intuitive awareness you need to be guided or to see all the shortcuts that would get you there, what would that be? If joy with money had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? If fun with money had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? If happiness in your relationship with money had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? If next time you spend money and you're completely joyful and grateful that you have this money that you could spend on something that you love, that you need, that you require, if that joy while you're spending that money, that gratitude while you're spending that money, if that had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would it tell you? Because you can be miserable spending money on food, or you could be joyful spending money on food and be grateful. Yay, I have money to feed, to nurture my body. Yay. If that energy had a voice, if that energy had a story to tell you, what would that story be? If complete gratitude on all levels of your consciousness, on all levels of who you are, had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? So there is like a perceived, there is this stabbing energy for many of you. There is this killing energy, being killed, being hurt, being injured for money. As I keep on talking to the money and trying to tap us into the joyful energy of money, the body is reacting in a way that is like, oh my God, I'm going to get killed. I'm going to get injured for this. So let's work on that. Okay. Again, imagine you are in this void, in this black space. There is nothing. You can't hurt possibly anybody. Feel into your body, into your energetic field, and scream out all the death and dying energy, being killed, being stabbed, being injured. When you had a lot of money, when you last had that amount that you want to manifest, when last time you had that in your possession, on your account, you manifested that money, bad things happened, all that fear, all that panic, all that shock, trauma, scream, pain, suffering that you've gone through when you had last that amount of money. Shout it out. Some of you from abuse to bring all of that junk up. Shout it out. Scream as loud as you can, as loud as you can. And some of you with karma abuse to find all the passwords, keywords, combinations that would cancel any contracts, any agreements, any vows, promises that are behind that energy, that are binding you to that energy, that are keeping you stuck in that energy. Find it all, disconnect it all. If that energy had a voice, had a story, allow that story to come out, be shared with you, and let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. If you feel pressure, if you feel pain in any part of your body, if you feel stabbing pain, if that energy had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. Some of you from abuse to repeat the statement times gazillion, times gazillion. Say this to every part of your body, to your DNA, to every single cell in your body. What's your story? What's your money story? What's your money story? What's your money story? Let it all out. Let it all out. Let it all out. a lot of energetic release in the body. I don't know if you felt it, but that was really something. So imagine you are trying to manifest that amount of money, but your body is fighting tooth and nail. It's meant to keep you safe, because last time we did that, it didn't go well. So you see how that might be stopping you in getting to that money. You're hustling, you're working so hard, but your body is just like, no, we're not gonna doing this again. Again, imagine you are at the center of the sun. You're sitting on a bench, and beside you is your money. So now your money looks much better. Like if I look at all your monies, now it looks much better. Now it looks like we could actually have fun with our money. So feel into that energy of the money. Feel, 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 feel. Have a conversation. Just ask your money, how are you? If your money was your best friend, if your money was your best friend, why did you make an enemy out of your money? What's the story? Why did you label your money as your enemy? It could never have you. You always reject me. You're never there when I need you. I always have to work hard for you. This relationship is really hard work. Everywhere you feel that, you think that about your money, if that had a story, had a voice, what would it tell you? You are not fun. I don't want to play with you. You are not fun. Who told you money is not fun? When did you learn this? When was this programmed into you? If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Everywhere you believe you have to fight for your money, everywhere you believe you have to woo your money, everywhere you believe you can never access your money. So with some of you with karma abuse, just scan the entire universe for all the beings who you have given power over your money, all those gatekeepers to your money, all those financial advisors, all those bankers, all those parents that you entrusted with your money, all those beings, whoever they are, that you have given control to your money. Some of you with karma abuse, to fire them all. You want to be the only one in charge of your money. Look at the next 12 months. Look at the rest of your life. Look at the rest of your existence. Look at anybody and everybody you have hired to help you create your money, help you co-create your financial destiny. Some of you with karma abuse to energetically communicate to all of them that they are all fired. Find all the passwords, keywords, combinations that would cancel any contracts with all those beings. Perhaps you made agreements with someone. They'll help you to get you $100. Yeah, maybe in the past, $100 was a big amount of money, but now it's nothing. But you still have beings that you have contracts with that keep on helping you create only $100, $100, $100, $100, no more than that. Because that's your glass ceiling. Because maybe somewhere in the past, $100 meant you're like a millionaire. So clearing all of that out. Everywhere you feel money doesn't like you, if that had a voice, had a story, everywhere you felt unloved, unliked, disliked by your money, if that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Everywhere you dislike yourself with money, everywhere in the past you were a jerk when you had a lot of money. Everywhere still running that energy of like, I would be a jerk again if I had a lot of money, clearing all of that out. If that had a voice, had a story, a crystal, time, dimension, space, and reality, clear all of that out. If you were an incredible contribution to humanity, if you had all that money, one of my spiritual teachers says it's your responsibility to become rich. Because many spiritual people, they're poor and they use poverty as an excuse to not step up, to really not contribute in a big way, big way to money. Everywhere. We resist to that, clearing all of that out. Again, imagine you're sitting inside of the sun on a bench next to your money and you're having a conversation with your money. Like, what's not working in this relationship? If that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? That dysfunction in your relationship with your money, with your prosperity, had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? What advice would your money give you for how to fix your money situation? If you could trust, that's what I heard, believe in me. Like money told me, believe in me. So everywhere we don't believe, everywhere we don't trust our money. So if trust in money had a voice, had advice to give you, what would it tell you? What I hear for myself is like, I've been proving myself to you for so long. And it's true. I had so many instances where I was getting to my last dollar and then money would just show up, would just show up, would just show up, would just show up. Money has been proving itself to me time and time again. And perhaps your money was proving itself to you time and time again. You've never had to starve. You never had to be like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. Money always showed up, maybe in the 11th hour, but it showed up. It proved to you that it shows up when you need it. But we still don't believe. We still don't believe. So if belief in money, that it would always show up for you, it always had your back, if that belief had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If you knew that all the money in the world is always there for you, that had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? If your karmic bank account, where you are a bazillionaire, if your karmic bank account had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? What I hear is you can always create more of it. You can just keep on creating more of it. But that's the thing, we forgot how to create money out of thin air. We think money is with our bosses. The money is here, already here, and we gotta take it away from someone. No, just go up, connect to your karmic bank account, learn how to just create more, visualize, create, envision, and then pull it down until it manifests on your bank account. So how can you create, envision that money that we are working with, the money you want to have on your bank account, not on your bank account because you will be spending, but on your sheet, on your financial tracking sheet on the 31st December 2024. How could you create that money? How could you envision that money? How could you tap into that money? How could you concretize that money? How could you pull it down? It's not about hustling. Forget other people. Money can come to you. You can find it on the street. You can win the lottery. It doesn't have to be through hustling, through your physical effort, through your business only. There are so many ways in which you can find money, get money, receive money, inherit money. That's another event that I'm going to be doing about 4 weeks from now. Inherited money. Where have you been cheated out of your inheritance? Where did you not allow inheritance to come to you? All of that. So again, imagine you're at the center of the sun, sitting next to your money on a bench. How does your money feel to you? Is it wanna Just want to play around with you, have fun with you? Is it still hesitant? Are you still hesitant? What's going on in you? Do you feel like you want to hug your money, kiss your money, believe your money, trust your money? A relationship requires trust. If you could trust yourself with your money, that's another big one. You don't trust yourself with money. You would spend it, you would lose it, you would make foolish decisions with your money, you will get killed for this money, you're gonna be a jerk when you have that money. Everywhere you don't trust yourself with money. If that energy had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Why don't you trust yourself with money? Think about that big amount you want to have on 31st December. Why don't you trust yourself to do the right thing with that money? Why do you distrust yourself? If that energy had a voice, had a story, what would it tell you? Times gazillion, times gazillion. Some of you with karma used to repeat the statement gazillion times. And let that energy go. How would your life be when you had that money? What would need to change? What would you want to change in your life if you had that money? And who in your world wouldn't want to change, wouldn't want you to change this dynamically? Who in your world would have a problem with you having more, doing more, creating a better, bigger life? Some of you with karma abuse just scan the entire universe for all the beings that don't agree at all with you having that amount, achieving that amount, growing to that financial prosperity level. And some of you with karma abuse to communicate to all these beings that they're fired from holding you back and having any opinions about your choices to have that prosperity. Nobody gets to rain on your parade. Nobody gets to hold you back as you're growing energetically into that bigger amount. Nobody gets to hold you back. You're not allowing it. Everywhere you're allowing anyone to hold you back, cancel all those decisions, agreements, vows, promises on all the levels throughout all your existence, past, present, future, across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Shake it off. Shake it off. Let it go and shake it off. Again, as I keep on talking about this, all these people that are holding you back, again, I feel this just heaviness. Like if you get that money and you have that money, all these people around you, they're going to be so heavy. They'll want to have your money. They'll want to judge you. It feels just so heavy. Like your relationship with these people is going to change. It feels so heavy. So again, imagine you're standing in this dark, dark space, this void, where there is nobody else but you. And imagine you're screaming, screaming at all these people, screaming all that energy out, all those promises, all those vows, cancel them. Everywhere you're allowing these people to hold you back, limit you, become a burden to you if you step into that money. Oh, that feels cool. Keep on screaming, keep on screaming. There's so much of the karma abuse to find all the passwords, keywords, combination that would cancel all the contracts, agreements with all these people that don't want you to succeed, don't want your relationship to change, that are going to be envious of you. They're going to talk you down. They're going to talk bad about your plans, about your money. They want to tell you you're now all uppity. You think you're better than them. Everywhere you've been judged for that money, scream it out. Scream it out of your system. You're not allowing it anymore. You don't need it anymore. You don't need to buy into their stuff. They can do whatever they want, but you still are going to choose that amount that you want to manifest for yourself this year. Grow out of your peer group. Invite them to choose greater for themselves too, but don't stay at their level. If all of them had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would they tell you? All those people that don't want you to outgrow them, don't want you to succeed, if all of them had a voice, had a story, what would they tell you? If their souls had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would their souls tell you? What would your soul tell them? We are all allowed to choose greater. If creator of all that is had a voice, had a story to tell you, what would he, she, it tell you? What advice would creator of all that is give you about your money? What I hear is don't ask me what you should choose. Decide for yourself. We're kind of like still in this, stuck in this rat of like being still a child where we need our parents' permission, we need someone's agreement, we need somebody to allow us. And often we have the same relationship with creator of all it is. Oh my God, I'm gonna get punished if I make the wrong decision. So better I check in with the big boss first, if I'm allowed to choose this. So what I heard just now is like, I don't care about your choices. Like, don't ask me, just choose and see what happens. So that feels much better now. Again, go back into the sun, sit on that bench, and now just talk to your money. Just take a few minutes. I'm going to be quiet. Just whatever's on your heart. Have a heart to heart conversation with your money. I'm going to do that too. So in my conversation with money, I was just thanking my money. I was thanking it for being there, for helping me create my life. And I was telling it, oh, I want to buy a laptop next week, a new laptop. How could we create that money so that I could buy that laptop? I'm going to Singapore. I need money for that trip. So how could we create that money together? I need to pay for a trip that I'm going to Bhutan. It's going to cost me a lot of money. How can we together co-create that money so that I could do those things? So think about those things that you want to use that money for. How can we co-create that next money that I need to invite my family for a meal? How could we co-create together that money that I need to fix my car? How could we co-create together the money that I need to pay for my next vacation? How could we co-create that money that I need to pay for my rent this month? How could we co-create that money that I need to, in a fun way, to buy that next thing I want to wear? Dress, trousers, shirts, whatever you need. How could we co-create that next spa day that I want? How can we co-create it together in an easy way, joyful way? And how we can go and have fun together. Invite your money for a spa day. I'm sure your money would be happy to be there with you. Money is happy when we are happy. So how could we co-create that money together? How could we co-create that money together that I want to see on my spreadsheet on the 31st December? How could we make this year the best financial year yet? What would it take for us to create that money? What would it take for us to be always aligned? What would it take for us to manifest, create that money, concretize that money in a fast and easy way? What would it take for us to know what the right next step is? What would it take for us to open ourselves into greater abundance flow? What would it take for us to, what would it take for me to take the time to meet my money every single day and ask my money, how could we, what's the next step? What's the next step? What would it take for us to create $1,000 this today? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take? What would it take for me to feel so abundant? What would it take for me to feel so taken care of financially by my money? If that had a voice, what would it tell me? If all of that had a voice, what would it tell me? If I could completely trust money to always show up for me in the amount that I require, if that had a voice, what would it tell me? If all of that had a voice, what would it tell me? If I could have my money, if I could keep my money, if that had a voice, what would it tell me? Because for many of you, there is this sadness, like it does not matter even if I manifest that money, I'm not allowed to keep it. It's just gonna slip through my fingers again, everywhere you sad about that. If that had a voice, what would it tell you? If that slipping, money slipping through your fingers had a voice, what would it tell you? If you could allow yourself to keep some of that money, what would it tell you? Some of you probably should scan the entire universe for all the beings whose permission, whose allowance you need to keep money, to keep some of your money. If all of that had a voice, so, and they could give you their permission, receive their permission. Some of the good karma beings to give you that permission. You are allowed, you're permitted to keep some of your money. With that energy of being allowed and trusting that it's the right thing to do, it's a good thing to do to keep some of your money. So for many of you, there is this constricted energy in the chest, like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't possibly keep my money. Like, what are you talking about? So everywhere there is that energy of clear and transmute, and you just feel into that energy. Of, I couldn't possibly keep my money. It's wrong to keep my money. It's unholy to keep my money. It's unspiritual to keep my money. Feel into that energy, clear and transmute. And some of the karma abuse to neutralize all decisions, choices you made. Detach, resolve, dissolve, cancel, and complete all the decisions and choices you have ever made to not keep your money. If I keep my money, bad things happen to me. If I keep my money, somebody's going to be angry with me. Clear, clear, clear. Across all time, dimension, space, and now. And now, if you like, just hug your money. Here's your money. I love you, I love you, I love you so much. I'm so glad we're friends. We're gonna do great things together. You're my best friend. I can always count on you. Kiss, 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 kiss your money. It's so good to have money. Money helps you create the life you love. Imagine who you could be if you had all the money you need to finally focus on being you, being a light in this world, sharing that money, uplifting humanity, using that money for good. Isn't that amazing? And whenever you're ready, put your awareness at the center of Mother Earth. Spread out energetically 5 feet out, 5 feet down. And whenever you're ready, you open your arms and be fully awake and alert and ready to embrace your prosperity, ready to be happy with your money, happy to be around your money. So next week, the topic is from fear to fortune, monetizing your gifts. Everywhere you know you're capable to do greater things. That's what we're going to be talking about next week. It's a free event, so feel free to join me. And on Tuesday, if you want to join as well, the session is going to be on unlocking intuition beyond fear and limiting beliefs. So for us to really get to that greater money, we want to see all the shortcuts. We want to be able to be in the right place at the right time, talking to the right people. We don't want to hustle. We want to be just there where we need to be to get to that next financial up level, to get to that next money win. And I really want to help us unblock whatever there is in our consciousness, fears, beliefs, limiting programs that are preventing us from being fully aligned with our intuition. So I hope you can join me. I'd love to have you with me. Thank you so much. I hope this was a good session, and I'll see you again next week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.